Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why you should back off if she won't make dates. Well, this particular email, this guy, he was 36 and he was dating a 25-year-old woman. They were dating for about 4 months. And I've been through his email, and he was definitely spending too much time talking and texting on the phone. He was pursuing and contacting her too much to set dates. And where he went wrong is that he was calling and texting too much and trying to see her a bunch because he knew he was going to be out of town for a few weeks. And so he started trying to impose unreasonable timelines in this girl. And as the late, great Thich Nhat Hanh said, you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. And so what happened was she stopped feeling free. He was smothering her a little bit and trying to set too many dates, and he ignored the fact that she wouldn't set dates. So if you call a woman or you contact her, or she contacts you and then you try to set a date and all she wants to do is tell you how busy and crazy her schedule is and how she can't find time for you, but she would like to chit-chat and talk and catch up, then just say, well, I'm about to step in a meeting or I can't talk right now, but, I'd love to see you. Why don't you check your schedule and get back to me? And then get off the phone. And he did not do that. And so what happened was the power is now flipped, and it's clear he communicated to her that he's more into her than she is into him, and that's not doing him any favors. So he's like, what the hell do I do? So this is a really good email because this is part of the ebb and flow, because women are like cats. You spend a lot of time together. Like in this case, they're dating for 4 months, and you smother a woman, and then she's going to naturally back off. It's just like trying to grab a cat that no longer wants to sit in your lap and pet it when it doesn't want to be petted anymore. It's going to freak out and run away. And that's basically what he's done here. So when the cat runs away, what do? You have to have enough self-control to just back off and stop moving forward. So he says, what's up, coach? I wanted to write in because I'm about 90% sure where I went wrong with this girl I was dating, but it still slightly caught me off guard. It's because your emotions are engaged. And your emotions are overriding your logic and what you know you should be doing according to the book. He says, I'm 36 and she's 25, and we were dating for about 4 months, and things were going great. We were staying at each other's places. She's cooking for me, doing nice things for me. Sex was great, and it kept getting better. We even went to Florida for my birthday, where she went all out, taking me to dinner, sex, etc. We flew home in early May, which was very recent, as you can tell. This email is, 3-4 weeks old. And so the other thing to keep in mind, you've been seeing somebody for 4 months, and she hasn't asked you to be exclusive yet. That means that your game's been sloppy, because if you were following what's in the book, she's normal and healthy, not a Fruit Loop, she should have been in love with you by week 6 or 7 and been trying to lock you down to a commitment. And so that didn't happen. And so you're 4 months down the road, and now she's pushing you away. So at some point, the power flipped. She realized that you were more into her than she was into you. She backed off. You started to pursue more. Her interest dropped. Her attraction dropped. And now she's pushed him away. And he's like, what the hell? So he's still been pursuing too much, and he doesn't realize it. He says, we hook up once we get home, and then I leave because I have things to do. And throughout the week, we have small talk and talk on the phone. The phone is for setting dates, bro. Especially if you've been dating somebody for 4 fucking months and you're spending more time on the phone than you are in person, that's a bad way to go. There's nothing, because as you date and the girl falls in love with you by week 6 or 7, she's going to be calling and texting you multiple times a day. But somewhere along the way, you communicated that you're more into her than she's into you. And she backed off. Her interest was less, and you didn't notice that. Or maybe you noticed it, but you ignored it. And so what happened was all of your actions were driven from trying to get her to like you, trying to seek her attention and validation. And when you do that and you get in that mindset of how do I get this girl to like me, You're no longer acting masculine. You're acting like a girl. And so that ruins the sexual polarity. And so that delays her falling head over heels in love with you and bonding emotionally to where she wants to be in a relationship. And so that never happened. And so he's 4 months down the road. He's not exclusive with her. She never brought it up because she never got there emotionally. And that's another thing that he completely ignored that should be obvious. So he should have backed off, but he didn't. He kept pursuing, and now she won't make time for him. And plus, on top of that, he's spending more time talking on the phone and not enough in person. He says, throughout the week, we have small talk and talk on the phone, and then she even goes as far to say how horny I make her and sends me a few pics. But I also ask her to hang out a few times knowing that I'm going to be busy in a week or so. So if you're 4 months down the road and she's sending you pics and telling you how horny she is, just say, come over. That's it, come over. Come over tonight. You don't have to have an official date. It's the ebb and flow. If she's reaching out and sending you pics and, oh, I'm so horny, I want your sexy body. It's like, get your cute little ass over here. Come over. Come over after work. Come over when you get home. Just tell her to come over. But if you're like, I must take her on an official date many days in advance, I must pick her up, I must open car door. Those things are all nice and they have their place, but you guys are already having sex. You're 4 months in. And so the idea is that by letting women do 100% of the pursuing, then all you have to do is make dates. And so what's happening is you're spending too much time talking and texting and not enough time in person. And you're probably being a little anal retentive with the date thing instead of just saying, I mean, you, as you said, you just hooked up after you got home. And then if she texts you a few days later, sending you naked selfies and stuff and saying, I'm so horny, it's like, well, get your ass over here. Be at my house at 7 o'clock tonight. Whatever. Just tell her to come over. Especially if she's texting you at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, sending, oh, I'm so horny. Just say, come over. Get your cute ass over here. I'm going to jump in the shower. I got to go. Bye. And hang up on her. So if she calls you and she's like, oh, I'm so horny. It's like, well, I'm going to hop in the shower, get all cleaned up. So just come over. Oh, but I know I'm going to do this. Just come over. I got to go. Get your ass over. I'm hanging up. Bye. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Bye. I'll see you in 20 minutes. Got to go. Bye. I'll see you in 20 minutes. I'm going to take a shower. Bye. And just hang up on her. She'll come over. But he doesn't do that. He says, I asked her to hang out a few times knowing that he's going to be busy in a week or so, and she declines, saying she needs to get back to her routine. So you spent too much time together. And so the kitty cat's a little bored and is kind of taking you for granted. So I don't know if he was the one reaching out here. Probably was. He probably started to pursue, didn't realize it. He says, so right here I should have stopped asking, but like I said, I knew I would be super busy soon. It wasn't just this one time, dude. This has been going on. You're seeing things, you're seeing signs of low attraction, and you're ignoring it and proceeding to pursue anyways. Saturday night comes along, and she's bantering back and forth about being girls' night out and wants me to come, and I don't make it. He says a few days later, she hits me with this text. Sorry I have been meetings all day, Bob. I truly like hanging out with you, but I feel like we are at really different points in our lives. I don't want to drag something out that isn't going to end in a serious relationship. You are a great, driven, thoughtful, and I truly do enjoy you as a person. So it hurts to do this, and I am sorry. She's so sorry. So I responded with, why don't you call me instead of text? But if not, and that's how you feel, that's fine. She called later and blamed it on the age, being too much. It's not the age. You turned her off. You over-pursued to the point where she lost interest, attraction, and respect. And then when you noticed her low interest, you kept pursuing anyway. And then her interest was so low on an attraction scale, it was a 5. You were barely hanging on by your fingernails, and now she's said, well, it's been great, but I can't do it anymore. He says, so obviously I pressured her too much after vacation to hang out. It wasn't just a vacation, dude. You were 4 months down the road. You took her out for your birthday to celebrate. It was nice that she went and everything, but you weren't boyfriend, girlfriend. You shouldn't be doing things for your birthday like that with somebody that you're not boyfriend, girlfriend with. So that tells me your mindset was, oh, this is my girlfriend. But in her mind, you were just kind of casually fucking. That's it. You were just casually hooking up. And so you ignored all kinds of signs, and you definitely communicated you were more into her. You were treating her like a girlfriend, and she was just treating you like a fuck buddy. And you didn't notice because you projected your fantasy onto her and ignored the fact that she wasn't feeling it. Either way, I chased her away. We talked in person, told her that I did care about her, and if she ever changed her mind, to get a hold of me. I'm not sure if I'll ever hear from her again, but that's okay. Besides asking her to hang out too many times, what else am I possibly missing? Well, you got to read the book 10 to 15 times. Because if you're 4 months down the road dating a girl and you're taking her on a trip to Florida for your birthday, it's like you're treating her like a girlfriend, and you completely ignored and disregarded the fact that you were just kind of like a fuck buddy to her. And then on top of that, you're trying to set dates, and you didn't even realize she's not that into it. It wasn't until, because women don't dump men that they're in love with. They dump men they've lost respect and attraction for. You're treating her like a girlfriend, and she's treating you like she doesn't want to be around you, and you didn't even notice. It went right over your head. It's a bad way to go. So that tells me you probably haven't spent the time studying the book and learning the fundamentals. And on top of that, you also probably saw a lot of the signs their interest was low, but you ignored it because you were married to your fantasy that you were projecting, and you were completely oblivious to and ignoring the fact that she was not in the same place. That's why she even told you, I'm going to read it again. But I feel like we are at really different points in our lives. The reason she says that, it really means you're way more into me than I'm into you. You're way more serious about me than I am you, and I'm just not feeling it on the same level. So I'm out. Women like you more if they think that they're more into you than you are into them. And you clearly, I have confirmation from this girl in your email that you were way more into her than she was into you. You were treating her like a girlfriend, and you were just a guy she was fucking on the side. That was it. And you didn't even notice. You didn't know what to look for. And so all of your interactions with this woman in person, there's obvious signs that she's giving off that you're just not picking up on. And usually it's because you didn't spend the time reading it 10 to 15 times. And so you don't even know what to look for. You didn't even notice. You think it's just you called her a few too many times. Like, bro, you were 4 months down the road and you weren't boyfriend, girlfriend. And yet you're taking her with you for your birthday celebration. It's like, only the people closest to you, girlfriends and wives, should be coming along for things like that. And the fact that you're trying to set dates and you keep pursuing, and you're just not getting the message. Unfortunately, this is how most guys operate. It's not until they get completely rejected like this guy did that he goes, maybe I was over pursuing. It's like you were doing it the whole time and you just didn't notice. I'm sure you did better than previous times in the past, but you're still pursuing too much. You're still calling and texting too much. Your game is really fucking sloppy. You're violating many principles that are in the book, and you don't know what to look for. I mean, the fact that this happened and you're scratching your head after 4 months of dating, and you're going, this girl blew me off. It's like, she should have been your girlfriend if you knew the book backwards and forwards. But you're probably a cherry picker and you didn't follow instructions. It's like, all I can do is suggest, but you got to participate in your own rescue. And a great way to participate in your own rescue is by going to understandingrelationships.com, clicking the plans tab, and signing up for an annual membership plan for my members only content. So you can get 6 additional video coaching newsletters per week. You get the 3% Man and the Mastering Yourself study group, myself, Chunky, and the girls, and James, and a few of our other guests, where we literally go page by page in both books and discuss them in depth and detail. And plus you get the girls' perspective because they've read the books as well. So it's an additional teaching aid, so you get that. Plus you get the Viewers Questions podcast, where we answer viewer questions. Instead of getting the individual questions in YouTube videos, you get the whole day's film session, which we usually answer 12 to 15 questions per film session on average. So if you go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, and you choose the annual plan, you get a 25% discount for paying up front. You can also, in the video description below, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can sign up to watch just the videos on YouTube, the members only videos, or you can watch them on Spotify. Especially for you guys that like to be doing other things and you just want to listen, Spotify is going to be the best place to subscribe to just listen to the audio only. Because on YouTube, because of their paywall, if you lay your phone down and it kind of goes to sleep, the video will stop playing because it's behind a paywall. But if you just want to listen to audio like you're driving your car, working out, Spotify would be the best place to subscribe to consume that members only content. And again, the link for that is in the video description below to sign up for that. And if you got a question or a challenge and you would like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.